So the final new release that I watched in Los Angeles was Hirokazu Kore-eda's latest film. I have not seen any of his other films, although we had several of them on Criterion Channel, and I just never got to them. This film won the Palme d'Or, um, and was one of the most highly regarded films, I think, period of the year. I absolutely loved it. Like, loved it so much. I did not know what to expect, having not seen any films from this director. I saw the trailer and I kind of had an idea of what maybe this film was going to be. No, no, I had no idea what this film was going to be, and I'm so glad that I didn't. And I kind of want to be like, don't watch my video until after you've seen this movie, um, because it's such a lovely surprise. It is a film, again, in the vein of the previous one, Keeper Nam, about economic inequalities. However, in this case, it's not just about economic inequalities, it's about chosen families and lifestyles that are not traditional. Meaning, I mean, they're criminals in this film, so that's already not traditional. But why are they criminals? Is it inherited? Is it socioeconomic pressures? It's set during or it's inspired by, the director said, director, writer, and editor said, inspired by the recession that went down in Japan, and the way in which it caused a lot of people to alter their lives. Um, it never judges them as criminals in the, like, you know yeah, they broke the law, but minor ways, stealing food here, stealing food there. And it was almost always, or actually as presented, always to help them survive. And in the bulk of the film, to help um, children survive. Now, what you discover as the film progresses, and here's the big old spoiler, so I'm just going to put spoilers. Um, no one pretty much in this family is actually related to each other, and they've all found each other in the mass that is Japan, and found a family. Um, However, when things start to fall apart, they are in the authorities are sort of brought in. They start to pick apart this family and try to make the family not believe in itself, because the bonds are non-traditional, um, and not biological, and they do things to make each other doubt their own feelings and love for each other that is just so heartbreaking, because this movie is also a little over 2 hours, and you see the love through actions, right? um I think a lot of times we take for granted biological love. It's the unconditional love of biology, and that's one kind of love. What we don't often discuss, and what this film is trying to show, is when you open yourself to others and give give of yourself to others in truly unconditional love, because you didn't have to. Biologically, you're sort of I mean, not everyone who's biological loves their offspring, and it happens a lot, right? Biologically, it's assumed that you love them because they came out of you, or they came of your genes, or what have you. But that's not always the case. We know that for sure. And anyone who's queer knows that a chosen family often can be a stronger, truer bond than anything you've felt for your actual family. So your actual family, your biological family. So I feel like this is a film that gets both, sort of, almost, even though no one in this film is queer, it gets queer chosen families really well. Um, Kind of sort of talks on adoption, even though no one's legally adopted in there. But the bonds of chosen family, and adoption very much so is chosen family. Uh, I just loved watching this family together. And I don't always do well with family films. I'm usually like uncomfortable watching films with like really happy, suburban families and things like that. It drives me crazy because I am like, ooh. But seeing a chosen family, eating dinner together and seeing them help each other out, and it's lovely. So the main plot, it was sort of meandering. The main plot is that this chosen family has found this girl who is in her home, and technically, yes, they do kidnap her. But she was in an abusive home, and they left her out. They leave her out on the um, balcony all the time, and she's probably better off out in the balcony away from her parents. And they take her and they feed her and they give her love. And they decide she's going to be part of their family. And they manage to get along with this for quite a while before um, it's discovered that she is not part of their family and that none of them are part of her family. Um, because the family that they took her from didn't want her and never reported her missing. Because biological family doesn't always necessarily mean love, and you discover, that she was better off when she was with her grandma, and then her grandmother died, and there's all of this discussion of what happens to people when they're discarded, whether they're children that are discarded or they're elderly people who are discarded or just lower middle class unskilled laborers who are discarded, and it's all about finding solace in chosen family. And I just loved this film a whole lot. Here is the cat off screen still. Okay, lovely film. I really am looking forward to watching the rest of Kore-eda's films because um, he really touched on emotions that I relate highly to, and it's just a beautiful film. So this is Shoplifters. It is in theaters right now. It won the Palme d'Or. It's most likely, actually, all three of these foreign films that I saw, Cold War, Capernaum, and Shoplifters, will all probably, they all got shortlisted for the Academy Awards. They all may be nominated. They're all really good. But of the three, Shoplifters was my fave, and one of my favorite films of the entire year. And I cannot recommend it enough. So this is Hirokazu Kore-eda's Shoplifters. It is utterly delightful.